Hello everybody. Hello, it's me, it's Andy, Decayed Andy here. Pre-Moonbase 2, we're Moonbase 2 in today. It's a news week this week, and we have stuff to cover. I'm not sure, again, how long this will be as a show, because it's just me. I always feel like I'm rolling the dice on how long a show can be when it's just Andy going, but that's not for you to worry about, that's for me to worry about, I suppose. I guess we can, once we've got the... maybe I should check sorry, not TFN. Maybe we'll have a quick look at Shozy, because I haven't actually checked Shozy. See if there's anything worthwhile on the whole pre-order gobbledygook. I don't think there is. That's flash sales. There's pre-orders. New product. Well, I guess it's under new products, right? Okay. Let's have a very quick check. It's not going to be on screen. DNA Designs. Who's this for? This is for... Oh, I suppose we can talk about that. Okay, we can talk about that. So put that over here. Anything else? No, I don't want to talk about you. We've got that already. You're not the right toys. Talked about these, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Quite up there. Now, DNA. DNA should go next to DNA, because it just makes sense. Are all these links actually going to work, or are they just going to be black screen? They're all going to be black screen for some reason. All right, just have to refresh every link, as you do. Gonna get it all looking nice and fancy so it actually works when the stream's running properly. Okay. Website on. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, let's get that music going and start moon pooping. Okay, here we go.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy. We're here to talk about the news this week. Not toys of the past, but toys of the present and the future. Unless you're listening to this 5 years from now, then it's well, the toys of the past for you, but the toys of the present and the future for me. You'll know so much more than I will ever know until I get to, 5 years, and then I'll know, it doesn't matter. Either way, we're going to talk about some news, so just hop on board, and hopefully we'll have a good time discussing things. Hallmark, we're going to be talking off today with, known for their product line of what's a nice way to say garbage? Knickknacks. Yes, they're interesting wear of knickknacks. There we go. That's a nice way to say it. I've shown off Transformers ornaments for 2026. Ooh, yippee-yi-ki-yay, you say. So we only have two, but one is the Transformers My Little Prime, which is going to be $23.99, so 24 basically. Available in July, the famous Christmas season that it is, based off the My Little Ponies X Transformers crossover collection from 2020. I don't remember, but fair enough. And also the Optimus Prime's Power, which is $24.99, so 25. It says by Orville Wilson, and I don't know what that means unless it's the special creator who did that one specifically. This is going to be available in July as well. So let's have a look at these things. We don't have much in terms of art. So we have a 3D render of the Optimus Prime horse pony thing. It is a basic horse body with Optimus Prime iconic detailing, let's call it, tampoed on its legs and the chest of the horse, the front part of the horse. And then on the face of the horse or the pony, it's got a Optimus Prime-esque tampo on it. It's not like 3D designed or anything like that. Those are tampos. The other 3D parts on the horse body are some luxuriously fantastic blue hair mane and a big red tail as well. So if that's something you're into, this is a product that'll be available quite expensive. 24 quid. I wonder how big this is going to be. I mostly wonder. I'm not too interested, but I mostly wonder how large is this. this going to be the standard My Little Pony size if they're sold at the moment? Which again, I'm not sure. Is it going to be small, or is it going to like? Can you hang this off your tree? I don't know. But again, not very Christmassy. But there's also the H Optimus Prime powers thing. So what does this mean? It is an Autobot insignia with Prime. They've got it so it looks like he's jumping through the Autobot insignia. So all of his body is there, but like his right leg is slightly inside of the symbol, and yet his left leg is way too thick because obviously it's thicker, so it can still connect to the back of the insignia, so he doesn't flop off, but make it look a bit more formed, I suppose. And I expect his ass is hanging out inside of the Autobot insignia as well. He's kind of in a what do you want to call it? An American football charge kind of thing, shoulder first tackle kind of thing. If I want to be a little bit picky, the Autobot insignia on Prime's shoulder is colored in full black, which not accurate to G1. Worth mentioning. So someone will see that and notice it and be like, hang on a tick. I'll be like, hey, well, don't worry, bro, I got you as well. It's hard to tell how nice the details on it because it's not a very good, clear image of it, but since it's coming from Hallmark, I wouldn't expect too much. And for $25.99 or $24.99, as usual, I would say this probably isn't worth it. Maybe buying. I don't know if these things go on sale. I imagine they have to, right? Maybe this would be fine if it was like $14. Maybe again, depending on the size, I guess. But as usual, the Hallmark keepsakes are a thing. They are a thing that some people, I assume, probably buy. I don't know who they are, but I assume there are people out there like that. There's also the DNA. Well, this is more interesting news. The DNA Designs DK85 upgrade kit for Age of the Primes Big Convoy. So, we'll read the blurb as usual. Introducing the DNA Designs DK85 Gear Master for Age of the Primes Big C. Oh, big Convoy, Big C. Okay, that makes sense. Don't know why that didn't register in my brain, but it didn't. Estimated release date is going to be August of 2028. 26. Oh, dear. Pre-orders are going to be up on the 30th of April, so this month? April? It is April, okay. 30th of this month, so relatively soon, like in 4 days' time. Less when you actually hear the show. So what does this kit include? It's a heavy weapon cannon. It's number one, an extra handle is included so the weapon can be held with either the left or the right hand. If you prefer a more screen-accurate look, you can simply leave off. Okay. The weapon can be separated into two smaller weapons, allowing smaller characters to use them as well. If you prefer the original look, you may also keep it fully combined. Wah. I added that. Number 3, this design is compatible with the older version of Big Convoy, which I imagine is the original figure. But the weapon core must use the newer Big Convoy. Since the core, I don't know what it means, but I will find out, I suppose. Since the core size, since the core sizes between the old and the new versions are different. And then we've got Robot Butler, an AI management system to help oversee the weapon systems. Yes, he's not just an accessory, but he's also Big C's little AI companion. Since I've never actually seen Beast Wars Neo, I'll take your word for it. And a new blade weapon, a newly added hard blade weapon replaces the softer feel of the original, giving the... Oh, maybe when it says the original, it means the actual Age of the Primes version of the figure rather than the original figure. I'm not sure. Sorry, I just came to me. Giving the piece a more solid and satisfying experience. So, a upgrade to Big Convoy. Let's have a look at it. Oh, I think the sword's for Magmatron. Am I stupid? Did it say that? No, it doesn't. It doesn't say it's the sword for Magmatron, but it certainly looks like the sword that goes in Magmatron's weapon, because it doesn't look very primey or Big Convoy-y. Yeah, it is. Okay, there's an image. Okay, I'm just stupid. I should have just clicked on the pictures. So with this upgrade kit, you get a missile blade, that thing that goes into Magmatron's sword hilt. Whether again you want to call it a missile or blade, whatever. So it's going to be harder plastic. It's going to be a lot pointier, and thus will make his tail in dinosaur mode look a little bit more intimidating as well. So that's a boon. That's a plus. So we have the gun. How does it look on Big Convoy? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You have the hip skirt part, which allow big red cables in the big gun to connect to. So that's an extra piece, I suppose. I guess this is the butler. He also comes with tonfas, like the tonfas that come from the underside of his arm. Now, because I don't have this figure, I can't remember offhand if he already has tonfas. This is meant to replace it or what? Oh, the his matrix of leadership stores inside the big gun. Excuse me. So does that mean in Beast Wars Neo continuity, he's shooting knowledge at people? Is that the idea? Okay, I don't know. The gun, as they said, does split into two smaller parts. They look all right. It looks fine. He can hold it in front of his chest with both hands, or just in the one hand. I guess, like they said, once the accurate version, one isn't. No, oh, he did have tonfas. They're just really, like, piddly and lame. They're more nipples than they are, like, tonfas. So these tonfas are, like, significantly bigger and a lot more threatening. You know, if you get hit by these, it would hurt, rather than the other ones, which would just be sad. Like I say, I don't recognize the little butler dude, but he looks reasonably cute, I suppose. It's fine. The mammoth mode with the gun on top of it is a tiny bit hilarious. It's a little bit silly looking, but it's nice that it can be stored in that mode as well, I suppose. That's nice. I don't know why they show Magmatron's sword being held by Leo Convoy as well, but okay. Oh, it actually does show this new cannon being held by the original figure as well. Okay. It seems fine. It doesn't really look like it upgrades the figure that much or do anything particular. It just gives him an important gun from the series, I presume, or from some part of his fiction. This gun comes into play. The little butler probably also has something to do with the series, which I'm not aware of. Minor things. Doesn't really upgrade. It doesn't really upgrade the figure. It just like, here is one big accessory. The new tonfas and the butler, and that's about it. Oh, and also a thing for Magmatron, which fair enough. So it's you know, it's another DNA Designs kind of I'm gonna shrug my shoulders at you kind of affair. At least that's how I feel about it. It's like it's okay, nothing crazy. It doesn't feel like a waste of money. But there's also the DK6036. I wish I could read G2. Hang on, it says. DK36G2, new word, G2, Sludge, SLUHJ. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. It's an upgrade kit for Sludge, the G2 Sludge. So it is I'm pretty sure it is the upgrade kit that they just did previously for the Studio Series Sludge. So in this kit, you get a new underside to his Tumbly Wumbly. You get a fire breath attack, a beam breath attack, and another fire beam breath attack. 6 little fill-in parts, I suppose. A toy accurate sword. Some orange parts, which I can't remember. And then for the dinosaur mode, you've got the googly boogly eyes. Upgrade kit for joint stability. Okay, that's for the underside of the chest. Oh, okay, so right, so the little orange bits tab into some of the yellow bits, which then tab into a piece that goes into his ass crevice, which I assume fills in some sort of holes, but I'm not entirely sure. But he does have, I guess the rest of those black parts are just for, like, again, minor fillers to parts. Not a crazy upgrade kit. It's okay, again. It's just like you know, they've already done it before. They'll do it again. Something about the photography has really washed out the orange, though, on the actual figure, so I think they should have maybe retook those photos, but it's fine. They're not selling this figure. They're selling the upgrade kit for the figure. That's the important stuff. Oh, I'm stupid. The other flame effects are one's for Grimlock and one's for Sludge. Slag. Okay, that's what it is. Which I think is what the original kit was for as well. Mr. White says, G2 Googly Eyes. Yep, that's what this kit is. It's just a re-release of the 36. So I guess to catch up with the releases that Hasbro are doing at the moment. Anyway, it's really whelming. Yeah, a lot of DNA kits feel like that. At least to me, Mr. White. I look at a lot of the DNA kits and go, mainly because they're expensive. They're expensive for what they are. And it's like, okay, all right. Something that is expensive, but I do think is usually worth the money, if you're so inclined, is Magic Square has shown off the MSB63. I got it right that time. ENIAC number 2. Either way, it's a legend scale nose cone. These are the figures that I am presuming will at some point, once all of these ones are out, will again get released in masterpiece scale. So if you are interested in the look of these figures, but you want them not small, as usual, I would say maybe wait, unless you have tons of cash and are just flush with it and like it's burning a hole in your pocket. Do what you want with that as usual. But yeah, nose cone. We've seen this guy before. This is the first time we've seen him, at least in colored plastic. I don't know if this is the final version of the figure or not. But he's very poseable, very dynamic, just like Lightspeed, who we talked about last time. Super poseable, got the look, got the moves. Can we see him transformed? They show him in leg mode as well. A very nice slender leg with parts on the back to kind of tidy it up to make it feel like a coherent leg. He looks very pink in these images, which I'm not like. When I say pink, I mean like hot rod kind of pink. Sometimes, yeah, we'll go with that. Sometimes hot rod kind of pink. That is the way that the photography is making this guy look. Again, whether he looks like that in person or not, I can tell you. That's how he's looking here. The drill mode looks pretty accurate to the toy. It's not like a thing that really exists, but something from the future, which is fine. They also show some images of him in leg mode and in vehicle mode next to the Lightspeed figure. But no robot mode of them standing next to each other. That's odd. I wouldn't know why they didn't do that. Either way, Magic Square pumping out another good-looking figure. I'm sure this will be well received. Interesting to see how they've done the shoulder joint. They have, because obviously his shoulders are treads, they have a big swingy joint, so he can lift it up, kind of like, again, like your hot rod kind of figure. That's how that joint will work, it seems. It looks pretty neat. It looks pretty fancy as usual from Magic Square. I wonder if there's a company that would be bold enough to try and do a G2 version of the Technobots, or maybe a quote unquote shattered glass version. Invert the colors, because that's all the rage these days. There is the thing of potentially not doing that. Why? Because didn't exist in G1, didn't exist in G2. Doing your own unique color scheme might not sell, So maybe they wouldn't. It's a handsome looking figure. Another one, nose cone down. So that's 3 left to show off, and then Computron from Magic Square will be done until they do the large version. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty certain and pretty happy to put. I don't want to say I want to put money down for it, but I'd be. Someone said, would you bet any money? I'd be like, I'd be fairly confident in putting money down for it personally. Another third-party company is Great General Toys, who, offhand, I don't know. It says slash. There's a big slash here. Craftsman Toys, who I also don't know offhand, are doing the DJS D03 Blade Calamity, which is their version of Slag. And they also says renders for that, and the DJS D01A Tyrannosaurus Warrior. So there's prototypes of Slag and Grimlock, but not number 2 for some reason. Whoever that will be part of the Dinobots, obviously, but I don't know. Apparently, Great General Toys were formerly known as Craftsman Toys, who I don't remember, to be honest. These are Dinobot G1 style Dinobot figures, but with a tweaked design to them. They also combine into Volcanicus because the style of the time, unfortunately. Anything else interesting here? Apparently, Tyrannosaurus Warrior will be about 27 centimeters in robot mode in terms of height and 36 centimeters long in dino mode. Let me do some crapulations because I don't know what that means. let me figure that one out. What did I say? 27. Okay, 27 cm in inches. So 10 inches. So that's what? Voyager scale? Voyager to leader scale? Question mark? Something like that. So it's going to be, I guess, something around there. Let's have a look at these renders. So it is definitely slag. Not. It is a different design. It's again kind of a Zoid-esque look, which I guess the Chinese market are really into because I'm assuming that this is a Chinese company. The legs are a lot longer than I would presume for a slag figure. And he looks like he's been on a diet. He looks quite trim as well. And the, what do you want to call it? The armor around the head is a lot more, it reminds me a bit more of Razorclaw from the Predakings because it's flat but kind of bigger and more engorged, I feel. So it's an interesting look. It does still look like slag, though, in robot mode, but very overly detailed, which is not a thing I'm super into personally. Is this the Grimlock figure? Maybe we have looked at this. I don't know. I'm looking at this Grimlock, and I'm like, I don't know. The dinosaur mode for Grimlock, again, very Zoid-esque, but also, if you don't want to think of it that way, it does have a little bit of the Deluxe Classics Grimlock dinosaur figure, if you remember that one all the way hundreds of thousands of years ago. It's kind of got a little bit of a look to that, like it's a very angular kind of dinosaur because it's robotic, so they've tried to put a lot of angles in it. I want to say we definitely have talked about this at some point. We see the Volcanicus chest piece. Volcanicus's mouth can open, which I don't think we've had a Volcanicus do. Not that I can think of. I'm not sure. I think the only reference, the only time I can think I've seen Volcanicus raw is when he was known as the Beast in that crappy comic that came with the UK DVDs, which is where he was introduced. Otherwise, yeah, this is a not like, if you're a G1er, you're not buying these, I don't think. If you're into Zoids or maybe Eastern robot design, this might be a bit more up your alley, but it's a look. It's a look, is what I'll say for it. It's not a... The Grimlock is in a silver prototype form at this stage. It's not colored or anything like that, but since it's, you know, he'll probably be colored similar to that because it's Grimlock, so he's mostly silver anyway, so there you go. The Blockies Transformers continue to come out, and I know my friend and yours, Mr. Adam Grufflock, is in deep and drowning in all of the Blockies at the moment. I wonder if he will infect Mr. Adam White in chat at the moment, whether he'll get him. Because it seems like everyone's like, oh, I'll just get one. I'll just buy one. And then they buy one, and then they buy like 500 more after that. Mr. White says, agree, Zoids, yes. G1, no. Yeah, pretty much. So this new wave, which is Wave 10, one shall stand. Who would have seen that coming for a naming convention? Never mind. We have Rodimus Prime, Hidden Style. This is a chase figure, 1 in 36. We have Rodimus Prime, which is 1 in 12. Not the rarest, but the second rarest. We have Warpath. The rest of it are 1 in 9. So we've got Warpath, Galvatron, Scorponok, Trailbreaker, Rekgar, Six-Shot, Brawn, and Cyclunos. So let's have a look at them. All with big hands. Yeah, there's a Rodimus. Is it a Rodimus? Well, it seems like the Rodimus will come with the Matrix of Leadership in his Tumbly Wumbly. I would say he has a bit of a hot rod face to him, so it would be nice if that was a bit more angular. Galvatron, yeah, that's a pretty decent Cyclonus, to be fair. That's a decent Rekgar. He's even got his little mustache and a little goatee. Not to an extreme degree, but it looks quite nice. Six-Shot looks really good. He looks good, and so does Scorponok. Scorponok comes with a mini-scaled Zarak as well, it seems. Yep, Warpath maybe could do with a bit more color on him, but that's definitely Warpath. Yep. Brawn, Trailbreaker. Oh, that's right. Okay, so the Chase version is a metallic-y version of the Rodimus version of the figure. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, reasonably so. I'm gonna send Mr. Gruff the link to this right now, and I wanna. He might not get back to me in time for the show, but I'll ask him what he thinks of this wave and who's his favorite figure, like who's his most desired figure, who he wants most. Okay, we'll do that now. Link who you jonesing for most. Most. There we go. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. We'll see what Mr. Gruff maybe says about these figures in the future. But yeah, it's a decent little wave. In fact, I mean, this would not be an awful wave. I'd be interested in Galvatron, Scorponok, Wreck-Gar even, and Six Shot. Cyclonus would be nice as well. I wouldn't care about Brawn and Trailbreaker, to be honest, but it's a decent looking wave, I think, if you look at it as a whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Autobots though. Only 4 Decepticons, but the Decepticons aren't Chase figures, so that's a plus at the very least. Blockies, man, they keep going. It seems like it's going and going strong. There's also the Transformers Lucky Draw Alloy Luster Surge campaign. I don't know what this is, so this is new to me. Limited to select countries in Asia. No Europeans, I see. Excuse me. Fans get the chance to win a prize for buying any Blockies Transformers Galaxy version. Read on the details of the prizes available. Okay. Jackpot prize. Galaxy version Optimus Prime. Alloy. It says allow finish. ALLOW. Allow finish. Not guarantee rate to be decided. Okay. First prize, Galaxy version of Nemesis Prime, the 1985 toy version. Well, look at the pictures. It'll make more sense than Andy. We've got a Bitstream hauler. So that's first prize, which is, I don't know if it means this is there are 3 first prizes, or if first prize gets 3 prizes. You're in first place. You're in first place. You're in first place. You get one. You get one. You get one. Or first place, you get these 3. I don't know. Prize number 2, minifigure for prizes. There is Shrapnel Insect Clear, Bombshell Clear, Kickback Clear, and Transformers 1 Cybertronian Deer Gold. I don't know what that means. Third prize, optional parts, 10 prizes. Bazooka, Hand Axe, Mace, Arm Gun, Energon Axe, Backpack, and Universal Joint. And then the fourth prize are effect parts. So you get green action base, blue action base, green effect part, blue effect part, Energon Cube, and 3 draw again cards. I don't know what the draw again cards mean. I didn't are Blockies a game? Can you play them as a game? I don't know. Andy doth not know. They look like some sort of cards at least. We see the energy effect parts and the effectively the 2 lowest things. Oh, there's the Insecticons. Right, so Bombshell and Shrapnel and all that are in their insect modes and are translucent. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Hauler is a green grapple. Bitstream is Bluer Thundercracker. Let's say that. A Bluer Thundercracker. That's a card. I don't know who the Silver Optimus Prime is, but I'm sure it's somebody from the list we mentioned. Oh, Optimus Prime. Oh, there's just it's meant to be Alloy Finish Optimus Prime. So it's basically a completely silver Optimus Prime with then metallic blue on his vents, forearms, abs, chest mirror, and the little blue bit in the center of his forehead. It almost looks a bit like IDW Ultra Magnus without the armor. But silver instead of white, Anything else that's interesting here? I mean, this is fine. I'm not sure having lucky draws is too impressive personally, but okay. I mean, if you're in Asia, this is fine. If you're not in Asia and you wanted these, I'm sure this is going to be a little bit faffy to get. I think it's nice that even third prize and fourth prize, granted, are not that exciting, but if you just want extra effects parts and like bits and things, I think that's quite nice. And maybe you need the extra joints just to, for backups. I don't. Again, I'm not sure what the draw again cards are. I don't understand that aspect, but yeah, it's quite nice. Nothing crazy, but like, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I wanted to quickly mention this because I thought it was interesting. We talked about the Beast Wars Transformers, what's it called? Predacon Collection. Apparently, this is out in Canada. This is a set that contains Kingdom, Leader Megatron, Kingdom, Voyager, Inferno, Deluxe Scorponok, Deluxe Black Arachnia, Deluxe Waspinator, Deluxe Tarantulas, and Deluxe Pterosaur. Didn't know how much this was going to cost. The reason I'm mentioning here today, it is $289.99, I guess, Canadian dollars. So let me do calculations to put that into real money rather than Canadian nonsense, okay? XE currency converter, thank you. US dollars, Lamau, Canadian dollars. And what did I say? I don't remember. My brain's stupid. I said 289.99. 289.99. Don't forget that number. 289.99 into US dollars. That is $212.04. And in English pounds, that's £156 and 87p. That for that amount of figures doesn't seem too bad. Granted, these are reasonably old figures now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 figures. 500 there. 87 divided by 7. Okay, so it effectively means that in the UK, each figure is about £22, and that's including a leader and a Voyager as well. So, they are old figures, but at least it feels like they're on an okayish discount. And to be fair, this set will probably go on sale as well. I mean, it's rough for Canadians because that's nearly 300 Canadian dollars. I don't know how your currency is doing or how much you're paid your minimum wage kind of thing, Canada, but that seems a bit rough to me. Like if it was £300, I'd be like, get fucked. But it's £22 per figure. So that, again, not terrible. The problem is I have Black Arachnia. I'm pretty sure I have. I think the only ones I don't have are probably Scorponok and Pterosaur. So for me, it's not really worthwhile set to get. If you're just into Transformers, and you want some Beast Wars stuff, this might not be a terrible set to pick up. Obviously, like Scorponok's crap. It's a bad figure. Megatron's good, but the rubbery bits are a bit weird on him, but you're fine. Inferno, I remember him being pretty good. Black Arachnia is not bad apart from a boob clip breaking. I enjoyed Tarantulas, though he's pretty basic. I don't really remember Waspinator at all. And Pterosaur's a bit of a mess. I know that just because he's a rework of Air Racer. So, like I said, brief mention. Always worth talking about because of the price. If you wanted to get this set, I don't know, it might not be that exact amount in your country. Might be a little different. I don't know. Let's talk. Yeah, before we talk about this, we'll talk about this. So, apparently, Legacy Commander Armada Optimus Prime is getting a reissue. Now, I thought Armada Optimus Prime already had a reissue. Granted, I know this because I put in a pre-order for it at In-Demand Toys, which they then cancelled, but I can't remember why, whether they just sold out of reissues or if it was a cancelled reissue or whatnot. But since we know that Armada Jetfire has been dropped, we're going to be talking about that obviously a little bit later in the show. I think this is a great idea. Like, if you're going to have Jetfire, you probably don't just want Armada Jetfire. I'm sure there are some people out there that are like, I'm really looking forward to getting Armada Jetfire. But he is just a pair of trousers, generally speaking. That's what he's there for. He's to combine with Armada Optimus Prime. If you don't have Armada Optimus Prime, you're obviously missing a large chunk of the gimmick of what Jetfire is and meant to be. So, this is a good idea. If this is a second reissue, that's a bit more of an eyebrow raise, like we're doing another reissue? Okay. But if the first reissue, which is the one I'm thinking about, was cancelled across the board. And this is technically the first reissue, and still, that's good. Just a well-planned thing. It would be like doing Jinrai or Super Jinrai, and then like 5 years later doing God Bomber. You'd be like, okay, we'll reissue Super Jinrai. Just just makes sense. So great news there. To say when it's coming out. Oh, there's no additional details, so they're coming. He's coming. Armada Optimus Prime is gonna happen. Andy, when's it gonna happen? One day. He will happen. Oh yeah, okay. So they've just said yes, he will happen, but they haven't said anything about when, where, how, or anything like that. Yeah, let's talk about these ones. Okay, so during a convention or coming via GameRand.com for some reason, and I think these were at a convention as well, they have shown 3 figures from the up-and-coming Studio Series 86 line. We have Deluxe Cliffjumper, we have Voyager Cyclonus, and we also have Leader Blitzwing. Now, I think it was a fair assumption to make that these were probably going to be light retools at best and repaints, and that's exactly what they are. So I think probably the best looking out of the figures is probably going to be Cliffjumper, to be honest. They've, I think, right, why do I say that? I think mainly because this seems to work a lot better as Cliffjumper than it does Bumblebee. Why is that? They have remolded his little feet, so his feet are more angular, unlike Bumblebee's little curved feet and whatnot. Problem with Bumblebee is the hood of him wasn't curved, so it was very angular, which didn't mesh well, I thought, with the overall shape of the vehicle mode. Does work perfectly well here with Cliffjumper, much better. The lines flow a little bit cleaner and whatnot, I think. He also has a new Cliffjumper head. So this is the better use of the mold, at least in my eyes. He is still a very, very small figure. Maybe not worth the asking price of like the same price as like a standard 24, 25 pound deluxe figure, just because he is smaller. Yes, he has quite nice engineering, but he is. It's difficult to justify, to me at least, to buy something significantly smaller and just be like, he's got better engineering. It's like, I don't think the engineering is that much better than a standard deluxe size figure. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I understand. I know business and whatnot. But like I say, I think this is a good looking Cliffjumper. Like I say, I think it works better than Bumblebee. And the head sculpt seems pretty decent too. I will say that the new gun that they've given him, I'm not quite sure what they were going for. It almost looks like they were trying to give him the bazooka, but they didn't. It's just a rifle. Not quite sure why. Maybe it's a gun he has used in the past. Probably. Maybe it's screen accurate to the movie at some point. I can't even think when Cliffjumper appears, but maybe, I don't know. But that's one of the options, I suppose. So there's Cliffjumper. Yep. Blitzwing, I guess, is going to be next. I think this is a brave but stupid move. Why do I say that? It's brave because you're putting out a figure that didn't sell desperately well. Because I remember seeing a Leader Blitzwing from Legacy hang around for a very long time on shelves. And I'm pretty sure I remember seeing him go to the 34 pounds-ish kind of clearance money kind of deal. That's how I feel I remember this Blitzwing went. Mr. White says, would you take a black marker to his pants? To Cliffjumper's pants. Oh, yeah, Cliffjumper does have little silver underpants, doesn't he? Would I color him in? Probably not. Hang on, is he accurate? Is he canon? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Was his underpants gray in the cartoon? I don't think they were. G1 cartoon Cliff Jumper. I mean, the argument could be made. Yeah, I think the argument's easy to make that they've actually done him wrong. Because right, so here's an image of him. He's got black shoulders, gray arms from bicep to forearm, black hands, and then black underpants, but then with silver legs. Yeah, there's an image of his silver legs there. So you could argue, if you wanted to, that this is wrong. And it technically should be the other way around. His underpants should be black, and his legs should be silver. Mr. White, look at you. What did I say about his arms? Oh, and his arms are the wrong way around as well, right? No, his shoulders are black. No, okay, that's right. The bicep though should also be silver. Okay. Mr. White, look at you calling out the incorrect color scheme. Yeah, I don't think just painting his underpants black would help. They should have just like made his legs silver and then made his groin black. But never mind. Exelhead says, I miss Cliff Jumper's bazooka. Yeah, and you know they've made a new head, they've made new legs. Fine, give him a gun. Do I have to show the inbox image? Look at how little space he takes up inside this box. You could put a gun in. I think you could make a gun. I think you could. Back on the Blitzwing figure, though, he still comes with his stupid giant hands. However, it appears that they're going to be done in a solid plastic, which is the very purple color that Blitzwing goes for. So he still has them. He's not lost them. I don't know if he's had any remolding done to him, but he still is a pretty fucking ugly figure. The tank mode is still pretty horrifically bad. You know, it doesn't look like anything's changed. So all of the faults of the main the main mold are going to be just here still. I don't know how well this is going to sell. I do think the colors are nicer. I do prefer them on this newer version. I think they are better because they're obviously more screen accurate and they've got more pop to it rather than the darker maroonish purple that the legacy version, the toy version, was going for. But this is quite an old figure now at this point as well, right? How old is Legacy Blitzwing release date? Legacy release date. So 2002. So yeah, 4 years. The mold's 4 years old. And we're just re-releasing it again. Where's my webpage? There it is. A 4-year-old mold with no changes, potentially no upgrades, and it still looks pretty bad. I'm not sure, man. Excelhead says, solid purple hands. Well, I won't have to worry about them breaking. True. I'm assuming they're solid purple hands. It doesn't look like they've been painted. I mean, I could easily be wrong, Exelhead. They might be translucent. Although I would have added color to break up the solid purple. See, you were asking for too much, Exelhead. You can either have it as them being translucent plastic, or you can have them colored. You can't have both. It was one or the other. There's no in-betweeny stage here. Yeah, so for a 4-year-old figure, and it's just one that didn't, again, I'm quite happy to say, I'm sure didn't sell well. To put it out again, I don't know how this will do. I'm not sure how wise this is, personally. If they wanted to have it start at £30 to sell, I'd be like, okay, you understand that this just didn't sell originally. Okay, fair enough. But good luck to them. I'm not sure how this is going to do. Next up is Cyclonus from Y here. New things about the Cyclonus is the face has been changed from the Kingdom version, and he's obviously in a way better color scheme. So the Kingdom one had a really fucking ugly color scheme. I reasonably enjoy the mold. I think the legs could have done with some work, but I thought it was a decent attempt of a Cyclonus, and it looked pretty good in the end as well. Apart from the face on the Kingdom version looked like shit. So to have this new face is a good thing in my eyes. Let's Kingdom Cyclonus, just so we can have a comparison on screen, you know. Okay. Nope. Don't want to use that. Do we have just like a nice close-up image of his face? Google. Sometimes it can be right funny to find good images of Transformer toys, you know? There it is. Okay, there we go. Boom. So there's the original face and the original ugly nose cone wizard hat thing. Yeah, let's get them side by side. Oh, it looks like it's not just the face. It looks like the entire head mold has been changed because it looks like his little it looks like the little nipples on the side of his head have been like a little bit further apart, right? And the let's call it the wizard hat in the middle that has a little points on them looks a bit thicker, and it doesn't have this little triangle and line running down the center of it. Oh, it does have the little triangle in it, it seems. Okay, okay. In terms of the boudet, is that it looks like there's a stress mark on this guy's version. Let's see if we can spot any other differences. We might not be able to. That might be the biggie, to be honest. That might be the big one. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it might be the case. I hear that the gun might be different as well. But if you wanted one version of Cyclonus that might be accurate to some versions of Cyclonus on screen, this does look better. Does it look 34 pounds better? And when I say that, I mean, obviously, because the price of this has increased since Kingdom, which again is probably from about 2022, I'm guessing. So the big change here is they've changed the face, and you'll be paying more for it. And the color scheme's nice, don't get me wrong. But, man, it does make me feel, once again, we almost shouldn't buy Transformers. And when I say that because, well, they might just reuse the mold in like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and just make it slightly better. Not massively better, just give you the version that you actually wanted originally. That's the kind of vibe I always get with these things. Like, we're going to make it better, only a little bit better. This is the version you really should have got originally, but we didn't do that for whatever reason. XLHead says, this Studio Series Cyclonus maybe become my main one, while the Kingdom becomes Armada. That will be a lot of the justification Transformers will do for buying the figure again, to be fair. And I get it. I don't think that's a bad way to you know, to huff the copium effectively. I understand that. I can see the logic behind it. And I don't deny it either doing it. I'm not sure I'd do it just because of money woes and whatnot. And like I say, I think this looks like the better version. It's just annoying that this is the one that we're getting now. Why wasn't this the one that we got in Kingdom? Because there's no reason that head couldn't have been done in 2022. No reason this color scheme couldn't have been done in 2022. But we got this one. Oh my god. We got this one, which is not a very good color scheme. It's not accurate to anything. We got the weird head, and apparently I don't care about the gun. I don't care about that. But you know, this oddly enough, the Kingdom version feels like the version we would have got from Japan, because Japan's always been a bit wobbly about their Cyclone eyes as well. I've always because what was it, the Henkei version was in this kind of pinky purpley kind of look, lavenderish kind of Cyclonus, rather than, you know, a at least a movie version of Cyclonus. So fine, he's coming. I still think out of the three of them, Cliffjumper might be the best of them, even though clearly, as we found out thanks to Mr. White, his colors are wrong technically. If we want to go by the cartoon, again, maybe it's one of those things that the one image that I looked at for Cliffjumper happened to be the incorrect one for the movie, and the movie has a very slightly different color scheme. That could always be a thing. I can't remember exactly what his underpants looked like in the movie, so this one might be the best though, because it looks like it might have the most remolded into it with the new head and the new legs. With Cyclonus, it seems like it's just the new head, maybe the gun, and it seems like with Blitzwing, it's nothing. So I'd say in terms of like stuff that's been reused, Cliffjumper feels like he might be the most worthwhile. XLHead says, but how does it compare to the Kingdom Target Master version of Cyclonus? The Target Master... How does it compare to Target Master version? Oh, sorry. I know which one you mean. I know which one you mean. I think I know which one you mean. Let me get a picture of it on screen. Let me get a picture of it, and then you can confirm whether it's the one that you think I mean, or the one I think you mean. Is it the toy version that you're talking about? Oh, what was it? Is it the Generation Selects version? Generation Select Cyclonus. Is it that one? No, it's not fucking Amazon. Why do you keep bringing up pissing Amazon? This one. Rather not use this image because it's not a very good image. Oh my god. That'll do. This one. Was it this one? Because it's still got the same head. Purple-wise, this is a bit more of a lighter purple than the toy version, if this is the one you meant. I think it is, because he did come with the Target Master. But obviously the new one has the new head, so that'll be the main selling point, I think. If you're after Cyclone Eyes, at the very least. There you go. Okay. All right. That's why I couldn't find it. So obviously the week before, I talked about all these rumors, of figures that were coming up, and literally the next day they were all shown. I was like, well, I guess I should go fuck myself. So let's have a look at Age of the Primes Commander Class Armada Jetfire, Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast Leader Class Decepticon Scourge, Transformers 1 Deluxe Thundercracker, Transformers Deluxe 1 Soundwave, Age of Extinction Void Class Optimus Prime. This is the Papa Kaka Poo Poo version. So let's start off with Bumblebee, Ninja Bumblebee. Ninja Bumblebee, as we'll call him. His legs, I would say, are messy, very, very messy looking. And why do I say that if you haven't seen the figure? Because he doesn't really have a front to his leg. He has, how best to describe it? He has a floating shin joint, or a shin. Like, it's not connected to the foot in a front ways. Like, it's connected via the side of it. And there's a big hole in between, like, the foot to where the shin actually starts. So you can see the shin. How's best to describe it? It feels like it's trying to do it's a shell former, but for the legs, right? So we've had figures that do this in the past before. A good example is Transformers Prime Cliff Jumper, the bad one, the one no one likes, the one with the big long gorilla arms. That one had that kind of arm effect where it was pieces that kind of wrapped around themselves to try and form a coherent arm, and it didn't really work too well. Movie 1 Jazz, the first Transformers movie Jazz figure, kind of tried to do that as well, but with less panels. And it feels like they've tried to do that here with a lot of car for Bumblebee, and it looks reasonably messy to me. It also makes his legs huge as well. So not only are they clearly hollow, like they've got holes in them, but they're huge as well. It's like he's wearing like weights, like he's doing Goku training or something like that. So I'm not too impressed with that. Above the waist, though, he's got little arms with some of the wheels hanging off them, which, forgive me, I don't know if that's accurate. Chest seems okay. Shoulders seem fine, I guess. Not caring about this design helps for me because it's a movie figure. The windows are completely translucent, so as usual, you can see into the car mode and see all the robot bits. Never a good idea. Looks like there'll be a few parts maybe hanging a little too low. I say that because under the big black stripe on the underside of the door, you can see a little yellow part hanging down. And maybe this little black part is another part of the figure, or it's just a part of the line of the car. I'm not entirely sure. It's not entirely clean. So I don't think it looks great. The Scourge figure seems to mostly fill out a leader box, which is good at the very least. I'm trying to remember how Scourge looked, and I can't remember. I think the truck mode might be an improvement from his previous truck mode. Looks quite mean and vicious, which is nice. The robot mode looks fine. Again, I'm not sure. I did not commit this design to memory Or at least the toy version of it to memory. Fuck it, let's check. Let's have a look online. Leader Rise of the Beasts Scourge. The tracker. What one was he? Oh, he was still a Studio Series figure, right? I guess. Yeah, it looks like he was. I think it's this one, right? Oh, you take me to a YouTube video. Okay. Go away. I'm rejecting all of you. Okay. Let's bring it back up on screen. So on Screen Rand gets exclusive look at figure. Okay, so this is the figure here. This is the newer version. Can we see him with his claw? Is there any difference? Is this a reuse of the mold? I don't know. Oh, it seems like am I crazy, or are the shoulders slightly smaller? No? I'm not sure. I don't know, chat. Andy doth not know. It looks very similar to the original version of the figure if it is the same. I mean, if it isn't the same, it looks very close to the original version of the figure. Maybe there's some difference in the colors, but mostly I'd say this is pretty similar, right? Am I crazy, chat? You can let me know. But yeah, it seems like maybe it's a slight recolor. Maybe there's some other pieces that are different, but I honestly I can't tell. The Optimus Prime figure is the Evasion Optimus Prime, just slightly recolored, so he's more of a faded red and blue, very faded red and blue figure of color scheme. But I'm pretty sure we've had this mold before, so I'm not going to talk about it because it's just like, yeah, well, there he is. I don't know what to say about him. Okay, I can actually talk about Transformers 1 Studio Series Soundwave. So people were warning me like, hey, Andy, don't forget, Soundwave turns into a big old square and flies. And I was like, no, he doesn't. And then I looked at him, oh, yeah, he does. So how does he transform? Yeah, he transforms into a nothing. And, yeah. The robot mode looks okay, though. I think that looks reasonably good, right? But the vehicle mode is it's a thing. It's a thing. Like if you just kind of grab that and laid it down on the quote unquote front of it, I mean it literally doesn't look like anything to me. The fact that someone could say yes, it's a ship, I'd be like, is it though? Doesn't look very shippy, but okay. Yeah, it's it transforms into nothing, but at least the robot mode looks competent and good, I would say. It doesn't look too gappy either, mostly. He's got the usual kind of open holes in his legs, like in the thighs, but apart from that, it's not too bad. Clearly, the cassette plate opens up as well, but I don't know if that means it holds anything inside it. But it does have a big pin going through it. Mr. White says, would he look slightly, in brackets, less horrible if you just turned him around? So you mean, Mr. White, if you had the blue bits that are pointing backwards, you had those bits pointing forwards? I think the problem is... no, you'd need a cockpit up front, right? So I'm trying to think of a design. Because their designs are almost like this, but you're right. It is like a backwards design. Hang on, I can pull up an image. I think. Let's Everspace 2 ships. Everspace 2 ships. I'm sure there's an Everspace 2 ship I can use as a basis and point at it and be like, yes, it looks somewhat like that. Yeah, okay. That'll do. That's an image that's good enough. Go away. That'll do. Okay. So, if the ship was more designed like this, so we had the pointy bits at the front here, like Mr. White said, you turned the ship around and had these pointy bits being the quote-unquote front of the ship. As long as then we put in like a cockpit in between them like that, and maybe an engine at the back. Yeah, I think that would work. That would look a lot better than than what we have at the moment, which is kind of a nothing burger, a nothing ship. It doesn't have that look to it. Again, all you'd have to do is get the big blue bits sticking out the back and pull them forward, and that would again just help the look overall. Having a proper cockpit again would also be nice, but yeah, that would definitely help out the design. Thundercracker wise, it looks like there might be some differences between this and the Starscream. Main one is the head. The head looks like a G1 head, so it looks way better. Though he does have sunglasses rather than individual eyes, but this is nice. It's probably just a Starscream mold again, but fine. Looks okay. The main issue with that Starscream was the head was fucking terrible, so this is avoiding that issue at the very least. So that's a boon. Yep. Lots of images. The Armada Jetfire Commander class figure. He is a girthy, fat little boy, but it seems like he always has been. In my mind, the cartoon didn't make him seem so flat, but he definitely seems to be. The jet mode is pretty much perfect, I'd say. It's exactly what you'd be after. He doesn't come with his own mini-con, but he does come with the Requiem Blaster team, so he's got... I don't know the individual names, and I don't care. You got the satellite one, you've got the rocket one, the white one, and then you've got the rocket carrier one as well. He's got his shield, he's got his gun, which won't have any sound effects or light in it, so it's massively oversized. It shows the gun being held on his forearm rather than in his hand. Do we have any images of him holding? No, we don't. I wonder if he can't hold his gun in his hand and it has to go onto his forearm. I don't know. Do we have any other images of this figure? I think we do. Do we have non-professional images of this figure? Maybe that's the better question to ask, right? But I'd say he doesn't look bad. He's obviously you have to make compromises because he does turn into a giant pair of trousers, and has to be in scale with Optimus Prime as well, the Armada Optimus Prime figure, obviously. Where the fuck is this figure? My God, Justin, where are the bees? Where are the bees? Yeah, good, fine. I'm shocked that we hadn't seen this earlier. Because again, it's been a while since we had the Armada Optimus Prime. And maybe this has better images. No. The answer is no. Yeah, it looks like the gun will just go on the forearm, so fine. That's okay. It's not a huge deal. The mini-cons in the robot modes look pretty much identical to how they looked originally. From what I remember, it doesn't look like these guys are any different, really, from their original versions, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be doing anything desperately different. We have seen... I'm an idiot. We have seen him in Super Pants mode. Oh, no. He is holding it in his hand. There it is. There's an image of him holding it in his hand. I'm just stupid. I'm dumb. Then it's the original one in the background, too. So we have an image of him in pants mode. He is way, way, way better as a pair of trousers than the original figure, thankfully. At least from this CG render, I presume. It looks a lot better. That mode for the original toy was kind of clunky and ugly. It looks like these are proper functioning legs with like a hip swivel, ratchet jointed knees, an ankle joint as well for the big new feet as well. So that's good. It looks like he's definitely been improved as a pair of trousers, which obviously that is a good thing. The chest panel as well that goes on the front of Armada Prime is way bigger as well than the original. So it covers the entire chest. And I don't think the original one did it as well in terms of chest coverage. So this is better. And obviously the Jetfire toy... I wish they'd shown more like side by sides of him versus the original. Looks like he might be a tad smaller. Maybe. It looks like he's got better leg articulation though, which is good. Yeah. It does look like an improvement. Again, is it Commander class £90 to £100 class price? Yeah. So if you want, remember chat, if you want this version of Armada Optimus Prime, technically if you're in the UK, it's about 200 quid. It's like, ooh. Again, to me, that's a rough source kind of thing. I never got the Armada Optimus Prime. I probably won't get the reissue. Subsequently, I don't care about Jetfire. I think Armada Optimus Prime, out of the Unicron trilogy, has the weakest of the super modes, combined mode kind of things. Like, I don't like Fatimus Prime, but I think when Fatimus Prime from Energon combined with, what was his name? Wing Saber, he started looking pretty good when he did that combined mode. And obviously, Galaxy Force Prime just looked fucking sick as hell in his super mode as well, in all fairness. And when he combined with Sonic Boom as well, Sonic Bomber, Sonic Boom, again, he looked pretty fucking badass. Pretty badass. Exelhead says, how are us non-SDCC buyers supposed to get the Star Saber, especially if the Skyboom shield comes with another figure in the future? Well, Exelhead, have you considered the Hasbro opinion is go fuck yourself? Did you consider that? Did you consider not being poor? Did you consider just paying them what they were asking for a hard figure to get? Did you even consider that? Are you poor? You a disgusting Turian? Minimum wage slob? My God, disgusting. In all seriousness, I wouldn't be shocked if the Star Saber got released again somehow, because it does feel kind of shitty to have it locked, like you say, to an SDCC exclusive, or to just generally to an exclusive. It makes sense to put it with a Commander class figure. It helps spread out the value and make you go, okay, so I get a big figure and I also get 3 mini cons. Okay, it gives you the illusion that you're getting a bit more value for your money. What will happen with the Skyboom shield? Well, I mean, you could if you wanted. I mean, not you, but Hasbro could if they wanted. Go, okay, we'll do Ultra Magnus as well. Not Ultra Magnus, Overload. Whatever the Energon equivalent of Ultra Magnus was, the big guns on his shoulders. They could do the Skyboom shield for that potentially. So then you have your fully upgraded Armada Optimus Prime, and you have the Skyboom shield, and you have the Requiem Blaster, and if you don't have the Star Saber, again, tough titties, I guess. Exelhead says, Minicons don't have the missile gimmick. That's true. That is a good point. So it is different, mildly so. I think, though, my point of it transforming exactly the same sticks. The only difference will be that you don't have the, because it wasn't just a missile launching gimmick. It was the missile had one of those really long tails to it, which stuck up, made a gigantic shoulder for him. So it's a bit tidier that way. I'm still pretty positive in saying these are going to transform pretty much identically, because the missile firing gimmick didn't interfere with the transformation at all. It was kind of integrated into the transformation. Exelhead says, I wonder how DNA will have to change the Prime upgrade kit. That's a good point. Maybe some parts will, maybe some parts won't. I think that's a fair point to make. Well, here's the funny thing, Exelhead. Do you know what that means? You'll just have to buy a new upgrade kit from DNA. And I bet DNA are rubbing their hands going, I hope it really fucks with our upgrade kit. You'll have to buy a whole new one then. Because it's not their fault. They wouldn't have known. Good reason to sell you a new one, though. Exelhead also says, if we get the Energon Prime, oh, that's the super mode version of him, right? When they all change colors to sell more toys. We better get Wings. Oh no, okay, you actually mean Energon Optimus Prime. Okay, we better get Wing Saber and Omega Supreme. Well, that's if, I suppose, is the thing to say. If we get Energon Optimus Prime, which wouldn't be a bad thing to try and do, because you should be able to do him at the Commander class scale. He'll be a real fucking lame figure to get. I'd prefer that they would sell Energon Optimus Prime as a Voyager, and then you buy I don't know, maybe commander or leader class wing saber. Won't happen because I don't like the super mode for Energon Optimus Prime. The standard basic Energon mode with a stupid shitty trailer and his stupid lame Power Ranger vehicles that attach to him. He's lame. In my opinion, he's lame. He looks lame. He only looks good when he's combined with Wing Saber. Omega Supreme. Well, if you want to bring back the Titan class again, that's probably how you would do it. I would agree. I don't know how you'd make Omega Supreme transform though, because he didn't really transform that much. I mean, the original toy doesn't do a huge amount either. To be fair, it's pretty bare bones basic, which I think was reasonably accurate to the show mostly. So I don't know what you do for a Titans version to make him feel like he's worthwhile in any sense of the imagination. I don't know. Either way, I get to finally talk about Jetfire. He might be a little porky little boy, but he doesn't look too bad. I think it'll be interesting, but I think it'd be interesting if we saw him redone into the Astro Train color scheme. I don't think we will see him in that color scheme, but it wouldn't be a bad base for him, I suppose, at the very least. Wouldn't it be funny if they did a recolor of this figure into Astro Train, and that's how you get the Sky Boom shield? That would be funny in a very depressing sort of way, I think. Tee hee hee, they say. I've talked about that. So, more rumors, which I'm hoping will not be shown as soon as we finish the stream tonight. But you never know. We have Age of the Primes replacement line found. I don't know what that means. It says, enter the Age of Evolution. And we have a list of figures to talk about. So, Age of Evolution is joined by Select's Titan and a Walmart exclusive line. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Does that mean like Generation Selects, but a Titan figure for that? So I'm guessing this is going to be the line exclusive to Walmart. I'm guessing. Okay, making an assumption. Age of Evolution. We have deluxe figures. We have deluxe Barricade, which who could that be? Age of the Primes. Barricade. Who would it be? It wouldn't be someone stupid like Amalgamus Prime. Not Amalgamus Prime. Who's the car with the glasses? Maybe him. Maybe that. Nightbird? Deluxe class Nightbird? Nightbird. Okay. I know I'm pretty sure I know who Nightbird's gonna be. Nightbird's gonna be Solus Prime, right? Even though everybody says, generally speaking, Solus Prime is not a good figure, it's not a good mold. I wouldn't place money down because it might just be weird and throw a curveball. But I wouldn't be shocked if Nightbird is a redo of that. Out of that. We have Collapse. Who's Collapse? Collapse? As in my organs? Collapse. Let's put that into Google. Transformers Collapse. And see if something comes up. Transformers Collapse. Images are not showing me anything. Transformers Collapse. On the TF wiki. What does the wiki say? Okay. Collapse references a specific episode in Cybertron. Okay. Barricade from Macadam. Yeah, that's who I meant. Yes. Yeah, that could be a thing. Because he turns into a broom car, so that would make sense. Thank you, Axelhead. Yes. I'm not sure it would work, but it's a possibility. I don't know who Collapse is meant to be. So in my eyes, Collapse could be fucking anybody. Unless chat again, Axelhead, chat. If you want to throw out some ideas of who or what Collapse is, fine. We could bandy about some ideas, but I'm guessing it'll be a reuse of one of the deluxes from the Prime line, right? Because that's the only thing that makes sense. That's an idea. How about that? That might be a smarter idea. Age of the Primes Deluxes. Be great if there was just a big image that had them all. Oh, have we had a reuse of Age of the Prime Cliff Jumper? Is that Age of the Prime? Yeah. Maybe Barricade will be done out of Age of the Prime Cliff Jumper. That could be a thing. Collapse from Primer, maybe? But who is Collapse? it can't be Primer either because it's a deluxe figure. It says on the listing here it's deluxe Collapse. Unless I'm thinking of Primer being Primer was the Voyager gray car with the Matrix blade, right? If I remember right. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Collapse could be fucking anything. I think it would be a mold that I think it's maybe too soon for them to do who's this fucker? Micronus. I think it's too soon for them to do Micronus. So I don't know. I have no idea. Voyager, they say G2 Megatron. The only one that really makes sense for G2 Megatron would be to do him out of Barricade. Which, if that's the case, I don't think would really work too well. And we're already getting Barricade already, because I remember talking about that would be, he'd be done out of someone already. So doing G2 Barricade again, I don't think that's great. Maybe they'll heavily remold something for G2 Megatron, but you already have a tank with Barricade, so why wouldn't you just use it again, you know? Maybe we'll look for Voyagers. Voyager tank. Yeah, he's the only... Unless they want to be really weird and do Amalgamus Prime. That would be ballsy. That would be very ballsy to do Amalgamus Prime. What about just Voyagers in general? Try and get an idea for what you could use for a Megatron. There's not a lot you can use for a G2 Megatron. There's literally one tank. Maybe you could do Primer out for G2 Megatron, but you'd have to remold a fuck ton of the figure. You'd have to remold a lot of him to make him work as any sort of tank. Again, this is only going through the idea that they're going to be reusing molds from Age of the Primes. They could go back further. You know, for Studio Series, they're using stuff from like 2022. They could do that here as well, to be fair. Difficult to say, right? Cliff Jumper is a Cliff Jumper is a reuse of Rescue Bot's chase. That's true. I do think the Macadam would be the better idea, just because they, as far as I'm aware, they haven't used that mold yet, so just use it again. Yeah, but G2 Megatron, pretty sure it's Brawl, which I don't think is a great idea. We've got animated Slipstream for a Voyager figure. So what planes do we have? And what planes do we have? Oh! No, wait. What does it say specifically? It says animated. Animated. For jets, there aren't that many jets. If they wanted to be really ballsy, it would be really ballsy to use like Alpha Trion from Age of the Primes and try and retool that into a like animated an animated Slipstream. That'd be very, very ballsy. Again, this is going off the idea, like I said, that they're going to be using Age of the Primals. Maybe they'd use Studio Series Thundercracker? Maybe they'd try and tweak that mold to work as an animated Slipstream? A new mold for Slipstream. Good, finally. And I think you're putting way too much hope in this, because remember, Excel Hedge, it says that Age of Evolution is also joined by Select Titan and a Walmart exclusive line called Megatron Rising Resistance is going to be the exclusive line. So yeah, okay, maybe these will be new figures. Maybe. Yeah, okay, I misread that. That's my bad. I saw Walmart exclusive and thought this whole thing was that. So what's these ones are going to be the reuses. Okay, so Barricade might be a new mold, or it might be a reuse of thingy. Nightbird, I still think is probably Solus Prime. I'd like it to be a new mold, but maybe it is. Maybe it's a brand new Nightbird mold, which they'll then make into a brand new RC figure that's not shit. Yeah. Collapse again, that could be anything. G2 Megatron would be nice if it's his own mold, and then you could reuse that a couple of times for the different uses of Megatron. Whether you do or you don't. You could even do Reverse Convoy if you wanted to make a weird deep cut. Animated Slipstream, like you said, if it is a brand new mold, it's about time. It would behoove them, I feel, to do a brand new mold for Animated Slipstream because, let's be fair, I don't think they'd change it that much to make it into just Animated Starscream, right? Then they could milk its tit for a while and just get out, the multiple variations of the mold if you wanted to. Then we've got Leader Animated Lugnut, which again has to be a new mold. Right? Leader. Leader. No, I don't think there's anything leader-wise. At least from Age of the Prime specifically, leader-wise, that would work for Lugna. It doesn't look like it. And again, unless they go all the way back in time and grab another one. Maybe they grab a mold from a different line or something. Obviously, that could be a thing. And there's also Leader Energon Scorponok. And again, I don't see what you do for Leader Energon Scorponok for like a reuse of a mold. So again, that could be a new mold, and that'd be great. No, I can't think of anything. Mr. White says Age of the Prime's Alchemist Prime would make for a nice animated Ironhide. That's a good point. Yeah, I think you're quite right. He's got a big stocky look. If they wanted to be lazy, they could, with that hopefully tweaked mold, they could use it as young Transformers animated Ratchet, because they were just reuses of the same mold, the Ironhide and the Ratchet. So that could work. Sorry, random thought. No, you can throw it in there. That's fine. Whether it'll happen or not, that's obviously a different matter. But I think Lugna and Scorponok, I can't think what they might be, again, unless it's a mold of the past, which I'm not even considering. Brand new molds. Animated Lugnut could be really cool. And Energon Scorponok, again, really cool design, so it could be interesting to see that updated. Because, like, to be fair, like, Energon Scorponok is very basic in terms of its transformation. It's like a Scout class figure. It's just big, and it had electronics, and it was a quote-unquote triple changer, but it didn't really, it's like Jet Mode was kind of shit. So to see a newer version of that figure, even though it would transform, I'm pretty sure 90% the same, maybe be mildly more complex, but I doubt it. I'd be interested to see at the very least. So in terms of the selects figures, which I assume are the... Oh no, it says selects. So selects Transformers Generation Selects Titans Energon Tidal Wave. I'm glad I didn't buy the shitty inferior version of that figure. And now potentially the Energon Tidal Wave will be really cool. Or it'll be lame. What do I mean by that? If they want to make it really cool, he'll be translucent plastic. I know. But that was like one of the key cool factors of Energon Tidal Wave. He was translucent green. I don't think a Titan figure is going to want to use that much translucent plastic. I don't think it has any inclination to use that much translucent plastic. But it'll be interesting to see them try it. At the very least, they'll do like a bright green plastic, I'm sure, for his body, if not translucent. It's an interesting color scheme. It's got lightning bolt. It's got like they're gonna have to go in on doing paint taps though, because he's obviously got like on the top of his boat mode, he's got like the black hole, but then with the gold lightning bolts all over his deck. So will they go that hard? You'd hope for it being a selects figure, and I think it being a selects figure means it's going to be expensive, maybe more expensive than previous ones. And then for the Walmart capsules, we have Deluxe Rook. Who's fucking Rook again? I can't remember pissing Rook. Is Rook Blue Bumblebee? Transformers Rook. Oh, Rook. Okay, so Rook is either the police guy from Combiner Wars. I completely forgot about him. Or Rook is a tailgate. And I would presume, since this is a reuse line, because this is the Walmart line, I would imagine Rook is going to be the Studio Series tailgate figure. Not tailgate figure. Windcharger figure. I think it's going to be the Windcharger figure, right? That would make sense. Energon Mirage when? Wait and see. Wait and see. So yeah, I'm gonna say Rook is probably gonna be Windcharger, but gray, so kind of lame. Viper. What an indescriptive name, Viper. Viper. So Viper, they've used the name Viper. Oh, okay, yeah. Viper was the Cobra version of Power Glide from Combiner Wars. This is the deluxe figure, so it's going to be the Power Glide figure. That might actually be pretty cool. If it's got the G.I. Joe iconography on there, that could be pretty neat. I could be actually pretty interested in Deluxe Viper. That could be neat. That could be neat. Because doesn't the deluxe figure come with like an alien mask? What would be really cool if he came with a mask to make him like look like Destro or like Major Blood or Storm Shadow? I don't think they'd go that far, but that would be really fun. And when you open his chest, instead of there being a little heart, maybe there's a Cobra insignia in there or a picture of Wild Weasel. That would be kind of fun. I don't think they'd go that far, but that would be pretty neat. So Viper, okay. Scoop from a Voyager. So the lame version for Scoop, because Scoop's the double target master. Let's just check. I'm pretty sure it couldn't be anybody else. Scoop. Quick look. Is there anything else other than Scoop? Who's Scoop? Yeah, okay, so the lame version of this for this selection, because it's a Voyager, I would suspect it's like going to be Scrapper, right? Which isn't a great toy, especially because he's mainly meant to be a combiner part. But maybe Scoop will just be a recolor of a Studio Series Scrapper, right? That would make sense. Voyager Slash. So Slash is a Raptor, right? Slash. Yeah. Voyager Slash. So there's the movie version, and then again there's the Combiner Wars small version. So what could you do for Slash? So I suppose if maybe you do like Kingdom Dinobot. I think that's a bit of a rough one to go for. I'm trying to think of chat, can you think of any recent-ish Voyager scale Dinobots that we've had recently? Or dinosaur robots? Because I can't. Most of the Dinobots in my mind they were all leader scale, right? They're all leader scale, so that wouldn't work here because this is meant to be a Voyager figure. No, I don't know. Unless, again, like I said, my idea of using Kingdom... but then again, it wouldn't work super well because like Dinobot from Kingdom was like an actual dinosaur rather than a robot dinosaur. I don't know about that. Voyager Skyfire. So, XL Head Scoop is definitely Scrappy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think so. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. So, Skyfire. Anything fancy for Skyfire? It's a Jetfire toy, basically. So, again, Jets for lead Age of the Prime. There weren't a lot of Jets for Age of the Prime. Really? So again, I'm not quite sure what you do, unless you do like again stretching here. The Alpha Trion. I don't know. I don't know what you do for Skyfire. And again, Skyfire. We've had like Jetfire toys and Skyfire toys reasonably recently. Again, I'm not sure what we'd have for that. Then it says Leader Snarl. What do you do for Snarl? We've had like 2 versions of Snarl. You can have a 3rd version of the Dinobot leader. And then it says a multi-pack. And it's not even point guessing of what that could be anything. That's like throw your hands in the air like you just don't care. Because what does multi-pack mean? I guess multi-pack is going to be similar to the Beast Wars multi-pack, right? That we just talked about the earlier in the show. And I don't know. I don't know. So the one I'm most interested in, Viper, because I really liked Viper from Combiner Wars. I thought that was a really fun little figure crossover that they did. You know what would be nice if they did like a Matt Tracker vehicle? What's it called? Thunderhawk? If they did that into a Transformer or something that was like at least a nod to that, that would be neat. If they did any of the vehicles, like a vehicle from Visionaries, and just like tweak it so it's maybe not identical to like those vehicles, but like close, or like close enough that you could use that as a basis for something. That I think that'd be neat. XL Head says Skyfight is a rumor to be an aerial bot repaint for Nexus Prime. Oh, I completely forgot that some of the aerial bots are also going to be Voyagers, right? Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, so true. So true. That's a good point. Which aerial bots are Voyagers? I can't remember. Aerial. I can't spell, but that's fine. Google will fix it. Aerial bots. Your deluxe. Wait. Oh no, they're all deluxes, right? Wait. Are any of the aerial bots Voyagers? Because there has to be a Voyager. I just can't remember. No, that's definitely a deluxe. That's definitely a deluxe. That's definitely a deluxe, and that's definitely a deluxe. I don't know. Skyfire is rumored to be an aerial bot repaint, but he can't be because unless they're just going to up the price because they're Skyfire. Oh no, Voyager. Yeah, they're listing him here as a Voyager. So, and it can't be Silverbolt either because he's a commander class. And even without his gigantic ass, I don't think they'd be selling him as a Voyager. Legs are Voyagers, if I remember correctly. I thought they were as well, but then I look at these images and I'm like, are they though? You're probably right, but they don't look it from the images, you know. It says he's a deluxe. Says Slingshot's a deluxe. Pretty sure he's a deluxe as well. Yeah, he's a deluxe. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. I'm not sure. We have more listings as well, this time for Studio Series. So, this is to celebrate comics and Transformers of 2007. So, at least some of these will be good. Lamau. Studio Series A level. I don't know what A level means. But let's see. Transformers Studio Series A level. TF5. Oh, so Transformers 5, Bumblebee, whatever Transformers 5 is called. I don't care. Dreamwave Optimus Prime. Now that's an interesting idea. Because I don't think it's going to be the one that fans, well, maybe think about. Let's find a good Dream Wave Optimus Prime. There's actually a few Dreamwave Optimus Primes, which is the funny one. Proportions. Is there not just because I remember there was an yeah, there it is. That's yes. Let me find the actual image. I fucking love how when you click on an image and it doesn't actually show the image. There it is. Okay. Who remembers this? How's his head up there and his chest down here? Is this the Optimus Prime we're gonna get? Is it? I hope so. Probably not, but I hope so. It's the classic image from the incentive cover where Prime has his forearm and arm in front of his face, and you can see his like chest below his forearm, and his head is way above his hat. Is where his head is above his forearm as well. So then the thought is that there's this gigantic neck that shouldn't exist. So what does it mean by that? I guess it could mean a standard boring G1 Optimus Prime. That's possible. It could also mean War Within Optimus Prime, which was where was it? Yeah, it could mean this one, War Within Optimus Prime. There it is. That's a better version. If it actually takes me to an image. Could be this. Go away. That could be quite nice to get. I'd be all right with that. Ooh, could you do a remold, heavy retool from the Gameverse Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime to make this? That's a question. Maybe not. But that could be interesting. I'd be interested to see what a Dreamwave Optimus Prime would look like. I might not be interested in getting one, but Exelhead says, which Dreamwave? Because I only want War Within. Ah, yeah, we've just talked about that. Or I just talked about that. And that is close to game. Yeah, funny. I promise I didn't read your thing before I made my analogies and whatnot. So that could be a thing. We've also got Studio Series 86 Alicon. So I would imagine it's just going to be a retool. Well, not even a retool. I think it's going to be the Kingdom one. No, it wasn't even Kingdom. Was it Earthrise? Where we got the Alicon? Whatever year it was. I think it'll just be that again. Maybe a slight retint to the colors. Maybe a slight retool. I doubt it. It might just be a complete re-release. I don't know. I think it's just going to be that. 86 Wheelie. We know what that's going to be. That's going to be the retro-carded Wheelie, but in the standard colors. He's just going to be fucking huge. 86 Red Alert. So that's just going to be... Oh my god, are we going to get the fucking Sideswipe mold again? The Earthrise Sideswipe figure again? Just with tweaks to it? Have we not had a Red Alert from that mold? I don't think we have. We must have had a Earthrise Sideswipe Red Alert figure. We must have. Earthrise Sideswipe Red Alert. Is there really not one? There was so there was one. Okay. There was. It was just from War for Cybertron. Okay. So there was a War for Cybertron version of that, but maybe there wasn't a Earthrise version. Yeah, Siege Red Alert. Okay, I wasn't crazy. I didn't think there was an Earthrise one. So I guess what this will be it'll be the Earthrise version, which is only a slight tweak of the Siege version. And then that will be done into Red Alert, but it'll also have the light bars across the top. I'm guessing. And if that's the case, that's lame and boring. Transformers 1 Shockwave, that'll be obviously a brand new figure for Shockwave. That's good. MV1 Jazz, movie 1 Jazz. Ugh, okay. Needs a new figure, I suppose. Dev Goldfire. Dev. Is that Dreamwave? Is that what Dreamwave stands for? Was Red Alert even in the movie? Oh, Exelhead, you think like that. That matters. You silly boy. Technically, yes. I'm pretty sure he was. Wasn't he on the shuttle when Prime was coming in? Like when he says, Grimlock, you're the other Dinobots, transform and save Autobot City. Transformers movie Red Alert. Because I'm sure there's like one shot of him. Dinobots destroy. How about that? Dinobots destroy Devastator. Or maybe it'll bring up the actual image. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, no, that's Sideswipe. I thought Red Alert might have been in there as well. Maybe just go with the who gives a fuck? Maybe it's that. Okay. Oh, DEV. Yeah, Devastation Goldfire. That's right. So that'll be the Bumblebee figure just done as Goldfire version or Goldbug. Lame, but okay. Dev Nemesis Prime. All right. It'll be the black version of Optimus Prime. Fine. IDW Nautica. Oh, now there's a figure we should have got a long time ago. I think that's a good idea, as long as it's not a reuse of any mold. Make her own mold. Sweet Jesus. Please make it a good female Transformer. Please. I don't even care for Nautica that much in the year of our Lord 2026, because I'm well divorced from like caring too much about the comics. But I'd like good female Transformers that aren't just RC but slightly retooled and still bad. That would be nice. So that has to be a new mold. Has to be. I'll make a frowny face and poo my pants off stream when I'm not recording. If that's not the case, okay? All right, we agree. Voyager wise, we have the Quintesson Judge. Oh Christ. It's going to be that shitty figure from Earthrise. Maybe they'll tweak it a little bit, but it's going to be that same shitty figure. I didn't buy it then, and I don't feel inclined to buy it now. But they have to make it do something, because it turned into nothing. It transformed into like a little mini Moonbase, which was shit. So, oh God, I don't know. I don't know what you do to try and make it worthwhile. That's where they'll put the Star Saber. They'll give you the Quintessons, and then they'll go, well, we're sorry that we're making you buy this awful figure. Here's the Star Saber from Armada as well. There you go. It'll make you happy. XL Head says, Nautica is finally free from being a box set exclusive. That's right. That was a crap version of Nautica as well. That was, for those not aware, Nautica was in a 5-pack set as a retool of Blur, Titan Master Blur, and it was not good. It was not good. People got it because it was the only way to get Nautica at the time. But man, that was a rough figure to buy. Yeah, the Quintesson Judge. All right. Okay. Movie 1 Ironhide. I feel have we not had in the studio series already a movie 1 Ironhide? Have we? Okay, whatever. Movie 1 Ratchet. We're doing a 2007 yippee pee pee poo poo because it'll be 20 years since the movie, so I guess we'll just do them again. Movie 1 Ratchet, which I'm sure we've had a studio series figure of, but no, never mind. IDW Voyager Drift. Yeah. As long as it's a new mold. If it's not a new mold, if it's a new mold and it's a Voyager, I think that'll be the first time Drift will be a Voyager. I think every other time we've had him, he's been like deluxe scale, right? I can't even remember the last Drift toy we got. Transformers Drift. Please don't let it be the RID version. Please. And no, I don't count Ken Watanabe. I don't count that as Drift. Even though technically, yes, it is Drift. It doesn't say movie, does it? It says IDW Drift. It says IDW Drift. Okay. No silly helicopter. Is it real? Man. Have we really not had like a Drift? Oh. No, we have had a Drift figure since then. Cyberverse had a really basic Transformer version of Drift. Okay. Well, Egon, don't I look silly? Don't I look silly? Yes, there was another Drift since then. Woof. Okay, so yeah, that could be, again, that could be quite interesting. Hopefully, I don't think it'll be the case. Hopefully he won't come with like really thin, bendy swords like every other version of Drift we've ever had. I doubt that. I think he probably will, but DNA will make new swords from, I suppose. So there's, apples and pears, I suppose. That's quite neat. That's quite neat. So, excuse me, MVL Soundwave. MVL? MVL. Chat, help me out. What's MVL? I don't know. XL Hedge says the original Drift or Lost Light Drift. It says IDW. I like a smart man, well, maybe not a smart man, a smart toy developer would edge towards doing the Lost Light version because we already have a version of like the original Drift. That was the original toy that came out. We already have that. Granted, there's not another option for that. Fine. But I think doing the Lost Light Drift would be the smarter idea. And if you did a Lost Light version of Drift, you could put him with like the Thrilling 30s IDW Springer and Crosscut, etc., etc. That would be a good idea. Whether you do it or not, I don't know. Yeah, MVL. I'm not sure. Soundwaves. I can't even comment. MVL. No. Marvel Legends? Like the Marvel comics? Well, either way, I would imagine since it's a leader Soundwave, it's just going to be a repaint of the Studio Series figure. Oh, I said that before your message came up, XL Hedge. I promise. So purple with possible head without a mouth plate. Ooh. Mr. White says MVL movie inspired. No, I think XL Hedge is right. I think Marvel might be the version because we already have Studio Series 86 Soundwave. So doing a repaint of that makes sense. It being a leader as well, it just makes sense to me that they just go, make a purple one, or they'll just go, fuck it, we'll just make Sound Blaster. Who cares? Mr. White says the Transformers Studio Series 86 leader class Soundwave, often denoted as movie-inspired, MVL, or similar. Oh, okay, so maybe it's just a re-release? Potentially? I could believe that as well, yeah. Studio Series leader IDW Fort Max. That's pretty cool to have a Fort Max in a non-Titan scale, and an IDW. The IDW Fort Max had a pretty interesting design. So again, he didn't really transform into anything. We haven't had a figure of IDW Fort Max in decades. Yeah, no, I'm happy to say that. Or at least in a decade. And I think it wasn't it Perfect Effect that did it? It was someone like that, because I remember Dave had it. It was either Perfect Effect or another. Well, it was obviously if it wasn't Perfect Effect, it was another company. I just can't remember the company. So Hasbro doing an official one. That's a great idea. Good. Leader 86 Swoop. Shrug. Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Leader 86 Sleep Optimus Prime. So it's going to be the Commander class without the trailer, and he's dead. Oh no, it won't be, because we are. Oh my god, we have the battle damage Optimus Prime. Now you can have the gray dead version of him as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well, fair enough. Okay, you got me. Okay, also TF5 Megatron. I don't care. And then Transformers Movie 1 Optimus Prime. All right, yeah, fair enough. Again, not one I care about. And then an exclusive Transformers Studio Series Autobot cassette pack. So, because we have Blaster already out as a Voyager, they went, how do we can't release them as a pack. How about we release them as a pack? Man, what a crazy idea to release the cassettes as a pack. Does that mean Soundwave could have been sold as a Voyager with maybe just Laserbeak? And it gave you the choice to whether you wanted to get the rest of the cassettes or not? Makes you think. Makes you think. XL Hedge says, we all knew Corpse mode was coming. Now, will it be battle damage Or well, yeah, it'd have to be the bile damaged one, right? It would be stupid if it was clean. It has to have the hole in him, and it has to have the fucked up face. It'd be stupid to not use that one. Hasbro does do stupid things, I grant you, but I don't think they do something that dumb. Yeah, you're right for mentioning it at the very least, Exel Hedge, because I didn't say that. But yeah, it has to be. Has to be. So, pretty decent list of up and coming figures. Some that I'm actually fairly interested to see, but then I scroll down and then I'm reminded of Studio Series 86 Astro Train, and I go, they can still fuck up. But yeah, the ones that I'm most looking forward to. Drift and Fort Max. Yeah, I think they're the two that I'm most looking forward to. The deluxes. Probably Nautica, in the vain hope that she'll be a new mold. But a lot of these are going to be like reuses, like the Alicon being a reuse, Red Alert being a reuse, Wheelie being a reuse, Goldfire being a reuse, Prime being a reuse. I'm not sure about the other two, but that's fairly unimpressive, to be fair. The Voyagers, like, there's a reuse, and then I don't know about these two, so that's why Drift's the most important. But yeah, okay, pretty decent. Oh no, Exel Hedge. Exel Hedge says, now when Dark Awakening Zombie Optimus Prime and Hate Plague Silver Prime. Yeah, true. When are we gonna get those versions? We gotta cover every spectrum of Optimus Prime we can get out of that fucking mold. Good lord. You know, I could see it. I could see them doing a 2-pack of those two figures and selling it as a web exclusive or something like that. That would be funny, but sad, but funny. So, last bits of news. We've got Alex Milne. He'll be going to Toronto, or like going to the TFCon Toronto, July the 10th to the 12th. Alex Milne, great guy, great drawing man with hands of steel. I hope he's doing good. He'll be at TFCon. You can probably get commissions off him. They might already be filled up. I don't know. And also going to the same Toronto Comic-Con. TFCon. Same thing. They're very different. Is going to be Scott Brownlee, which was who was responsible as the audio engineer for G1 and Transformers the movie. So he did the voice processing and whatnot to make robots sound like robots, soundwave, etc., etc. So that could be quite interesting if you're into voice editing, audio editing, and whatnot. That he could have some quite fun little nuggets of information, I believe. But that's it. That's all of the stuff. That's the news for this week. There's been some interesting speculation on what things could or could not be. Let's see what Mr. Gruff said. Oh, in terms of the Blockies figures, Mr. Gruff says that's Scorponok. Already planning foot and waist extensions. Okay, so he's all into the Scorponok, which I agree with. Not a bad idea. Also already have it and the Defender Beast Wars second boxes pre-order. Mr. Gruff's in deep. He's in very deep, the poor boy. But that's all we have for news this week. I'm not going to talk about what I've been up to this week because it's not been desperately interesting, I suppose. I bought 2 boxes of different skeletons, one from Wargame Atlantic and one from Oathmark, because they're far cheaper than GW skeletons, like a lot cheaper. And I'm basically using bits from previous skeleton GW kits, which I had left over, to upgrade them so they have better looking heads and they have better weapons, effectively, because the weapons are a bit small and the heads are not quite as detailed as the GW ones. So just fiddling around, messing around with stuff, doing stuff like that, get some skeleton boys up and running. Otherwise, not really been doing too much that's worth talking about, I don't think. So we'll end the show there. Thanks, everybody, for coming on by. We'll be back next week with Big D once again talking about... Is it Combiner War? I think we're talking about Combiner Wars next week. At least starting Combiner Wars. So we've got that to look forward to. Exel Head says, if we're finally getting Marvel's Studio Series. I want fused Megatron / Ratchet. Yeah, good luck with that. That'd be a really interesting figure. It couldn't transform, but that would be quite a fun thing to do. But I don't think they'll do it. And Power Master Optimus Prime. Power Master Optimus Prime would be great to do. I don't know how it would fit into Studio Series. I'd just like to see it. I'd just be happy to see it. I don't know how they'd do it. Maybe they'd make it a Commando, maybe a Titan. They might be like, they might make it like Star Convoy kind of priced, just because it'd have to do a lot. Might even have to bump it up to full Titan price again, because it'd have to do a lot. We'll be back here next week, 9:30 in the evening UK time. If you want to join the people here, like everybody, join like people have done tonight. Thank you very much for coming on by, everybody. We are on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You type that into Google, you'll probably find us, hopefully. I'm also Decayed Andy on the internet, on those similar places. We also ccbunker.weebly.com, the Moonbase 2 forums, and if you want to get us that way as well. And I think that wraps us up nicely. This went on far longer than I thought it would do. My voice is dying, and I will massage my throat with some late night pudding. So thank you very much for coming on by, everybody. We will see you next week for Toy Talk. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, I don't have my buttons to press. Let me say it then. I hate them, Gregory. I hate them all.